Insert Evan from Bruce Almighty.
Welcome back
Welcome back.
to your weekly TIFU digest.
I straight up forgot what we were doing for a second. I was like, what episode are we?
I'm glad I introed.
That's why he intros and I don't.
Yeah. I noticed we just kind of took that. We just kind of took those roles from the beginning.
Yeah, well, I mean, 20 years of friendship, you know your roles, right? You know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So, like, you've always been the more, host style, and I've always been more the commentator kind of, like, I take what you say and spin off of it. Right?
It's kind of funny you say that because that's exactly how JBTS was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember, because if you haven't got a chance to go watch that podcast episode, definitely go back and watch that, Just Beneath the Surface. It's a historic telling of our friendship in music, if you will.
Yep.
But I remember distinctly the very first show we ever played at that grill, like the Depot Grill. I remember like we hadn't really like talked about the banter we would say between songs, and I would like start saying something, and you would riff right off of it, and it was just like that's how it goes.
Ping pong.
I would start and we would just ping pong, and it just works. So
he's ping, I'm pong.
That's make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Yep. And before we jump in, I have no great segue except for it's an ad read.
It's the best segue, honestly. It's
it
straight
really is
to the point.
Yep. And I believe.
Oh yeah, we didn't check this date.
Oh, the 5th.
There's still time.
We're still time.
You still have time.
Yes. Which means what, Sam?
That if you go to intotheam.com/lousy, which is in our description or as a pinned comment, you can get up to 60%.
Yes.
Site-wide.
Yes.
Which is pretty sweet because nobody else is still doing deals. But you know who is still doing deals? Into the AM. Yep.
That's right. That's right. Link in the description or the pinned comment, intotheam.com/lousy. And on top of that, you can also get our special 10% off on top of their deals going right now. So you can get 60% off site-wide, up to 60%. I did it. See, I did it. You're rubbing
it's
all
hard.
over
It's hard.
Yeah. Up to 60% off site-wide, plus extra 10% off with our code Lousy at checkout, or you can just click the link and it'll automatically apply it. As a reminder, this actually happened to me recently. If you have Honey or the Honey attachment extension on your browser, make sure to cut that off before you go there because it's no surprise. We are partnered with Into the AM, which means anything you buy from there, we do get a little cut, and we do appreciate your patronage of being able to go there and spend your hard-earned money to help us keep the lights on. But Honey automatically negates that and removes it from us. So if you wouldn't mind doing us a favor and cutting that off, making sure to go in there and pop our code in at checkout, we'd be greatly appreciative of that. But you do still have time. Make sure to go get it. It ends when, Sam?
Excuse me, December 8th. You asked me that like as I'm getting ready to burp, so I'm like, oh crap.
Perfect.
December 8th, last day.
Yes, December 8th. So definitely go get you some dope threads right now, like these dope graphic tees, hats, draws, shorts. You name it, they've got it.
There it is.
There it is. Go over there right now. Again, link in the description or the pinned comment, intotheam.com/lousy. Again, intotheam.com/lousy. And if you'd like to show off whatever you got, click the link to our Discord. Go on in there, show us what you got, and we'll give you a shout out on the show because we greatly appreciate you taking the time to support us in this dope partnership with Into the AM.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is time.
It's time.
It's actually kind of funny. I remember there was a song that I recorded with our old friend Mikey Hare.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Mikey? Shout out Mikey. Love you, baby. And it's just judge me. I don't care. The song was called Booty Meat.
Yep, I remember it.
And I remember it started. It started with "It's time in this corner." So that definitely just like teleported me back about a decade.
Yep,
I appreciate that. Felt
out here feeling old.
I mean, that I recorded that when I was 24.
That at Thanksgiving, quick little aside, at Thanksgiving, I had an old moment because they were having me tell the Gears of War 3 story,
Oh
and
no.
it was to my my nephew's best friend, which my nephew's 21, which is weird to say now that I have a nephew. And but his friend was like,
You
"Man,
had
that's
whoa.
yeah,
You had a nephew already. You calm that
you
down.
know what I mean? Yeah, like a marriage nephew. We're not married,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's what everyone
But
thinks.
yeah, but so he was like, so I was saying, yeah, we played a Gears of War, like a show for the midnight release of Gears of War 3, and he was like, whoa, that must have been all the way back in what, like 2011, 2012, and I was like, oh, all the way back in, fuck you. But he's like, he was probably 10 at the time, maybe
Disowned.
8.
Disowned.
Like, well, it was the best friend, so it wasn't the nephew. The
I
nephew
ain't
was
invited
very
back no
kind
more.
about it. Yeah. No, he
Wow.
was very nice. His name was Connor. Shout out Connor. But yeah. Anyway,
All the way back my ass. Dude, my fucking knees hurt now.
today I fucked up by reliving my childhood
Yeah,
and
well,
feeling
that
old
was
as shit. Yep.
well. Let's. You know what? In the spirit of being old, I'll just sing it like I have no spirit at all. Let's get into the weekly TIFU digest. Yeah.
Still don't have a jingle. Probably won't happen until next year or so.
Really fucking hurt. Oh my god, that was not
Yeah.
that long ago, dude.
I know, but for him it was half his age ago, so I kind of get it by reference. So I apologize to any old people that I have done the same thing to. But anyway, we have 4 stories as always, keyed up to read. So hopefully
Yes.
we feel a little less old. And I believe it is my turn to start.
Yes, you start.
Yes. So we kick it off with our first one, or our fourth one here. Today I fucked up by having more than one FWB, or friends with benefits for the uninitiated. I'm 22 female, am bi. I'm am bi.
I ma'am.
I'm am bi. And for the past 4 months, I've been hooking up with a guy, 21 male, and a girl, 23 female. These two people look nothing alike, and I had no reason to believe they were related, so I was horrified when he invited me out for a concert last night with a group that he said would be some of his friends and his older sister, and saw that she was in the group. I asked if they were friends, but he said they were brother and sister. He said that he looks more like his mom, while his sister looks more like his dad, which was why they don't look very similar. She didn't mention anything during the concert. In fact, she didn't talk to me the entire show. When I got home, she texted me asking me straight up if I was fucking her brother, and I haven't responded yet because I literally don't know how. TLDR, today I fucked up by being a horny motherfucker and fucking the wrong people.
I gotta get in the comments first. The first comment, sold for it. Just go for broke and go for the mom and dad next.
I see why they're top 1% commenter.
Yep.
With the
Dude,
name Swift with it too, like, they were just right there, right as they posted.
I can say with a certainty I've never been in a situation like that. And I will say that that yeah, you fucked up. I don't know, like if you're just banging, right? Is it really a fuck up if you're just banging? So you're not really being invited like the family cookouts.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't think
Unless
that's
the last names are
necessarily.
different.
I mean, sometimes it's so casual you don't even know last names. Like people go on Tinder and just fuck.
Oh, we fucking
like,
fucking. Okay.
Yeah. It could be that, I don't know. Or it could be, no, I guess that mom and dad are the same. I was thinking like maybe it's a split marriage and they're like halves, but doesn't seem like that either. Or maybe it's just a very generic last name like Smith or some shit. Like,
True.
there's a lot of scenarios I feel like where this could happen. It's just extremely rare. Yeah, so I don't think it's necessarily your fuck up unless you knew about it beforehand. But now that you know about it, I mean, I don't know what you would do at this point either. Like,
Walk away.
From both of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like completely as friends and everything, or like?
Okay, so think about this for a second. Not saying all friends with benefits lean this way, but it's a safe assumption that friends with benefits could in fact lead to something down the road. Let's say, for instance, I don't know, you and the sister, right? OP and the sister, right? Y'all like, you know what? Let's make this a thing. And then you two decide to go to, it's in the spirit of the season, you get invited over to her folks' house for Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
And then you find out that her brother's dingling been up inside Yova Goober. like, how do you process that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you just need to cut it off and go find some new F-dubs. Like,
well, I think next step is to just be very honest, like to the sister, and just be like, yes, and I had no idea you guys were in the same realm. I'm so sorry. I will walk away and then see where it goes from there. Like, if one of them like steps aside, like, no, you go ahead and fuck her. No, you go ahead and fuck her. Like, then, you know, that maybe you can salvage one of them if you want to, but you just need to be honest with both of them, I think, at this point. God, that really, they're Eskimo siblings to a whole nother level.
I don't see a world where this ends with OP being with either one of them after this.
I doubt it. Yeah, I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
I think you can maybe still be friends, but only friends. And that's very, very tough. Light, like very light. Like, and that's an ideal, like if they're both cool, then you don't have to completely ruin everything. You know?
I mean, yeah, if they're cool about it.
That's a big if. That's a very big if.
Based on the text that was received.
Yeah. And if she wasn't talking to you at all, like, that means
she picked up on it during the concert and held on to it until after y'all were gone so she could process her thoughts to text you and go,
yeah.
Yeah, also, you touching his dick? Like,
I'm just thinking of another complication. What if sister's not out? Like, you can't really explain that. So yeah, I think you need to talk to sister before you do anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's tough.
Yep. This isn't it. Yeah. I mean, okay, I'll rescind my previous statement. It is a fuck up, but like, it's not necessarily your fault. Like, it just happened, you know?
Yeah. I think this is one of those times where if everything happened exactly as you described and you truly didn't know, okay, it's not a fuck up. Like, or no, rather, it's a fuck up, but it's not your fault. You didn't do it with intent. You were like, I'm horny and I'm trying to get laid. You boned a dude and then you boned a chick and you started boning them more often. And then you found out later on down the road, just by happenstance. I mean, imagine you didn't go to the concert. You would never have known.
Yeah. Yeah. What happens if you showed up at Christmas one day?
Think about it.
That would have been crazy. So yeah, I think concert's probably the best scenario.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just read one more comment. The last one says, or technically the third one. The second one was talking about if this is real or not. We're not going to dive into that, but the third one says, you just tell her, since you're just hooking up, easy peasy, no feelings. You know what you have to do. Which,
oh yeah, no, absolutely. You just got to, you just got to be straight up. Like, at that point, like again, I don't see a world in which you're going to continue banging either one of them after this, because the sister, like, there's multiple avenues in which, if you tell the sister, yes, I'm banging your brother, but I had no idea. Let's look at the outcomes. She gets pissed and walks away. She gets pissed and walks away and tells her brother, and he gets pissed and walks away. I don't even want to think about the world in which both of them are totally okay with it, because that's just fucking gross.
Yeah, definitely no world. Like, if there's a world where there's like, they're starting to pitch threesome, no. I'm out.
No, walk away.
Like, absolutely no. Mm-mm.
That actually goes along with one of the added on comments to the first one there. It says, got to go for the whole family tree, but they put threesome.
Yeah. I like some of the other ones that were like, collect them like trading cards, Pokédongs, Anginas, or Poker Mom.
They go, and dad, and my axe, and my All right, let's move on.
Move on.
Yeah,
Yep.
good luck with that.
Yeah.
On to number 3 this week. Today I fucked up by using 100% pineapple juice as a chaser. Okay. So this happened last night. My fiance went out and got some alcohol. He came back, Sith. Do it.
He came back on the dark side. He had killed all the younglings. It was crazy. This is Padme?
He came back with 100% pineapple juice as a chaser. It tasted pretty good, even though I don't really enjoy pineapple. I ended up drinking 1 can of it, and my fiance drank 4. Today, when I woke up, my stomach was hurting, and I ran to the bathroom. Cue one of the worst shits I've ever taken in my life. It hurt and just kept coming. The amount of shit that came out of my body was insane. I was concerned when I looked in the toilet. My poor fiance is having a much worse time than me. Explosive, fiery pain poop is shooting from his body every hour. He had 4 cans, so I can only imagine it's 4 times worse. The screams, the horrible screams. So yeah, don't use 100% pineapple juice as a chaser, no matter how good it tastes. Edit. I wanted to add this was not normal pineapple juice. This was pure concentrated pineapple juice that is used for mixing cocktails. Not sure why we thought it would be fine. Edit 2. It seems that the pineapple juice may have been spoiled because others in the comments drink it regularly. I sure hope not, because he bought it from the store yesterday and I can't check because I threw all the cans away today. TLDR, drink 100% pineapple juice as a chaser, got explosive diarrhea. As someone who drinks pineapple juice whenever I can, because it's one of my favorite juices and one of my favorite fruits, I have never experienced vile explosions after drinking it straight.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. But I can see like how it could potentially go bad if it sits on a shelf for too long. Like, you know, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had any problems with pineapples
Mm-mm.
or pineapple juice. So like, yeah, it must have gone bad if they both had that bad of an experience.
Yeah. I mean, hell, one of my favorite alcoholic beverages is Caribou Lou.
Yeah.
151 Malibu and pineapple juice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shout out Tech 9. Like, I've been drinking pineapple juice for as long as I can remember. I've never once had that happen. So I think your fuck up here is that you should probably have checked the date. Although if you bought it straight from the shelf, I don't know what to tell you on that one.
So not similar, but related. This actually just happened to me right after Thanksgiving. So this is fresh. I haven't even told you about it yet. Day after Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving we went to, it was good, but we decided to kind of have like our own little mini Thanksgiving for like the leftovers, but it was just going to be like ham, stuffing, and green bean casserole. Like we just stuck it to the basics just to make it an easy dinner. And so my wife made ham, stuffing, green bean casserole. And then the next day was her birthday. And so this is Black Friday. So stay. This is Black Friday when we eat it. Saturday is her birthday. We eat it. Everything's fine. We go to bed. I can't sleep because my stomach starts gurgling like crazy. And to the point where like, oh no, this is about to be very bad, which gave me flashbacks to last year where I got food poisoning from some sort of bad seafood in Seattle when we went there. I told you that one.
I remember that.
And I was sick for days with that one. So I was like, oh no, not again. I don't want to make this a habit. And so I'm up all night. I mean, all night. I didn't sleep except for like maybe an hour. And right as she woke up was when I finally started puking. And it was not fun at all. And she's totally fine though. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? And so then last night, I'm going to make dinner with the leftovers of our fake leftovers. So like we still had plenty of ham and everything. And I look in the ham and there's like in the glaze, it's still in the fucking dish. And there's little green, like fungal bacteria looking things floating around all in it. And I just had way more ham. So I think it like fucked with me than she did, more than she. It's kind of similar to this. And yeah, so it ended up being fine after like a couple more hours. So like by 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I was fine. But like I'm assuming that something in the ham went bad, like because it was like a glazed packet, like it wasn't anything like super homemade. So I'm assuming something in there went bad. Is the only thing I can think of. But
Why am I getting flashbacks to New Year's?
which New Year's?
The New Year's where we were still in Texas, right? And I was slamming White Claws that were left over in the fridge. And that night, like, because we had friends staying over at the house and y'all were there as well, but y'all went home.
Yeah.
I started my new year. I think this wasn't this past New Year's. It was the New Year before that.
The year before, yeah.
Where I started my new year. It was 2 a.m. into the first day of the year. I have not slept yet because I am actively detonating from both ends.
Yeah.
it like, and I'm pretty certain I don't know if White Claw actually has an expiration date. It's either it expired or I cannot, my body doesn't tolerate it. But yeah, no, I could definitely say that the only times it's ever happened to me is when stuff has been expired or that you just get a case of food poisoning because it's just bad. It's old. Not that it happens all the time, but I think that that's what happened here was the pineapple juice was bad.
Yeah.
And you were chugging it and it hit your stomach and ta-da.
Yep.
If nothing else, you're cleaned out.
Yeah.
Fresh slate.
Yep. Just some much cheaper colon blow.
Yeah. I don't even think we have to go to the comments on this one because especially with the edits, it sounds like that a lot of I looked at the first one and that one clearly right in line with what the edit was. The second one here goes right in line with it too. This sounds like a food poisoning story with the wrong thing being blamed for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we can move on from this one. But yeah, definitely fuck up. Definitely check expiration dates.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button while you're here and join the Lousy listeners. And also, click the join button. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Lousy member where you can get some awesome perks, cool emotes, and interact with Sam and I. Also, click the link to join our Discord and have fun with all the other Lousy listeners. Let's get back to the video.
All right. Number 2 for the week. Today I fucked up. Our HR director had a mental breakdown because of me.
Shit.
What did you do? Let's find out. My company, which is around 300 employees, hired a nice and motivated young woman as a new HR director. She knew her job, and with her, our okay, I see what they're saying now. She knew her job, and with her, our HR department improved a lot.
Commas are necessary.
Yeah, commas. Yeah, please. It started to act like a real HR department. One of her biggest projects was creating an online training for all employees that will cover OSHA, workspace behavior, treatment of colleagues, and kitchen etiquette. Believe me, it were really important matters in the office. Thinking grammar is not the best here.
Just keep going.
Try not to judge. Her training was amazing, really. They filmed great videos, created a great presentation, and put it together. The total time of training was around 1.5 hours. 10 trainings for 3 to 4 minutes with a small quiz after everyone. However, when HR sent everyone a link for a training, I discovered that if you leave your cursor on the video, then press right alt and right arrow, you can skip the video and the quiz. It took me 3 minutes to skip all the training and finish it with 100% completion. I told my office crush about it just in secret. She tells everyone. The whole office completed a training in 2 hours after that link was shared. The new HR director was informed about it, and someone mocked her for wasting her time, and she had a breakdown. She started crying like she can't breathe. She couldn't stop. Office managers called her an ambulance. And I feel very sad face emoji. She is a nice lady who knew her job, and I wish I didn't tell about it to no one. TLDR, nice HR director created a great training. I discovered how to complete it fast. People completed it and mocked the HR director. She started crying and couldn't stop. Damn. I mean, I feel like the fuck up here is that she wasn't expecting the employees to find a way to complete it faster. Because in any scenario, any training that is given, they're going to try to skip through every bullshit video. Like, yes, you could have done a great job on those videos and they could be very engaging and blah, 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 but nobody wants to deal with it. And they're going to find a way to skip it. So that's, I think, the real fuck up here, that she just couldn't handle the facts that there was a fuck up there.
This is where I got to come clean.
Okay.
So today, specifically today, as of recording this, I was in work and I get notified that there's 2 trainings I have not completed. Anti-bribery and corruption. And what was the other one? Anti-money laundering. I've done these trainings, much like anybody else has done these trainings, so many times.
A lot of them are like yearly compliance ones too.
Yeah.
Which...
And I'm not going to say that I found the loophole to skip past the videos that you're required to watch, because that would be a bit of a problem for me to admit to. But I will say that each one said it would take about an hour to complete. And I did it in about 15 minutes.
Yep. Everybody does it. Like, there's no feeling bad about it. Like, you should pay attention when you first get hired. And then once you know it, just be smart. You know? We had one in retail every fucking year. Box cutter safety. And I'm just like, if you hurt yourself, that's your own fucking problem. But I think they have to put out that video to try to cover themselves with any little bit of liability bullshit that they can, even though it's still going to be a workplace related injury and they're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But unless you're just being grossly negligent and trying to fucking play fucking fencing with box cutters or something. But
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have an interesting question on this scenario. I don't think that they fucked up. I think they found a loophole.
Yep.
I don't see. So let me go back and read this real quick. The new HR director was informed about it and someone mocked her for wasting her time and she had a breakdown. That does not mean that was your fault. I don't think that you fucked up. I think you found a loophole to something and then everybody else or whoever that was that did that fucked up. This is a very, like, this isn't even a fuck up. This isn't even like your fault. This is just a shitty situation. Like,
yeah. I hope management's talking to the person that mocked her, because that's not good workplace etiquette at all. Like, that's not great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think OP really fucked up here.
Yeah, no, I don't think OP fucked up at all. I don't like, honestly, I don't even think we need to necessarily read the comments.
Although the first one, I kind of agree with.
Yeah, that you kind of took the words right out of my mouth on that one. I was like, seeing that is really the only one I would go like.
You want to read it out for the people that are listening?
Her training was amazing, really. This is a quote. Her training was amazing, really.
Wait,
they filmed
the first one.
Huh?
That's not the first one.
Yes, it is.
Not that I'm seeing.
Which one are you seeing?
For me, it's, well, at least you know your office crush fucking sucks.
That's the second one.
Oh, okay. I don't know if maybe
first one,
yours took over or something.
Possibly. The first one definitely offers a good point, though. They quoted, her training was amazing, really. They filmed great videos, created a great presentation, and put it together. The person comments says, how would you know? Didn't you skip the whole thing? Like, yeah, this is true. So both of them, good points.
Yep.
No, I think this one's pretty open closed. You didn't fuck up. The person who mocked the HR director did. And I not saying that it's that you should do this, not saying that mocking someone's okay, but I know from speaking to multiple people who have worked to get into HR and worked in HR, you gotta have some thick skin.
Really thick skin. You deal with some heavy shit under HR. Like, it's not just onboarding and training. Like, it's a lot of shit.
Yeah,
like,
people come to you with their
to the people that do it.
Yeah, like I've made jokes about HR before, but that's because it's like, oh, gotta call HR.
Yeah.
Like, But when it comes down to it, the job itself is very demanding. So
Yep.
I hope for your sake that you got it all figured out. And like you know you know the level in which you have to attack this, as an HR director. And definitely keep your head up because that shit's rough.
Yep.
So
moving on.
Our number one, oh my God. Our number one fuck up of the week is a fucking novel.
So see, there's a script with like back and forth conversation. Do you want me to read in on that or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take the wife.
All right, I'll be the wife.
Okay. Today I fucked up by never using my core muscles for 30 years. This is probably going to sound dumb, and that's because it is. My balance has always been shitty. I attributed that to the fact that during puberty, I grew 1 foot taller in a single year. God dang, son.
I feel that.
Yeah. I figured my body never got adjusted to the new equilibrium because it happened so quickly. I never gave it any thought beyond that. So one day, I was stretching before a run and had moved on to the flamingo stretch, quad stretch where you stand on one leg. My wife was there and she likes to poke fun at my lack of balance. It's just some lighthearted ribbing. It's no big deal. So I was hopping on 1 foot and flailing my arms. My wife was laughing at me and she uttered these fateful words.
It's like you're not using your core at all.
Why would I use my core? I'm balancing on my leg.
Wait, what do you mean? Your balance comes from your core.
I'm not using my core. I'm using my legs.
You're not flexing your core at all?
No, that's stupid. Why would I need my core to balance on my leg?
Flex your core right now. Just do it.
So I flexed my abs and I immediately stopped wobbling over and stood upright. Huh, that's weird.
Have you been balancing without your core this whole time?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't think I needed it.
How the fuck have you been balancing without your core?
Well, badly. I didn't know I needed to do it.
You have to use your core for everything. Why wouldn't you need it to balance?
I don't really use my core all that often.
What? And scene.
So after that, I'd just be doing a normal activity like carrying one of our kids on my arm, and my wife would ask me if I was using my core. So I'd start flexing my core, and my kid would get easier to carry. Or she would ask me to do something. For instance, how do I get in a car? Well, I bend my legs and just sort of fall backwards into the seat. Same. After
At a certain height, that's kind of the only thing you can do.
Dude, my truck, I'm just like backwards in, dude. After a few days of this, something clicked in my brain. I loved sports as a kid. I played them all the time, nearly every day. But I was always bad at them. My balance was awful and I was uncoordinated. I was a terrible swimmer. I was weak. I was so weak. In fact, that I never understood when people would say that men are so much stronger than women. My wife could overpower me when she wanted to. I'd struggle and strain and she would push me back. It was a bit humiliating, but I never let her know that. Well, it took some training, but eventually I started instinctively using my core for everything. I started using it while walking, while lifting things, even just standing in one spot. I use my core now. It's been 2 years and I sometimes can't believe the change I've seen. I'm 33 and I'm the strongest I've ever been. I could do things with ease that I used to struggle with. I'm stronger than my wife now, which is an ego boost. I beat my half marathon time by 30 minutes from 220 to 150. This summer, I started lifting weights to get even stronger. I love how I feel now. My confidence is higher and I'm a happier person. I'm not sure how I never learned to use my core muscles for anything. I do wonder how strong I could have gotten in my 20s if I had been using my body the way I was supposed to. I don't dwell on it. I'm just glad that I was able to change my body when I did. I never would have thought that a playful jibe from my wife would change my life so much. TLDR, I consistently fucked up over a period of 30 years by never using my core muscles for anything and grew up to be a weak, uncoordinated piece of shit.
Damn. I mean, I don't really think about it, but I haven't really ever struggled with balance that much, you know?
That's fair.
Like I'm tall and lanky, but for the most, like I can stand on my foot for a while and it flexes my core a little bit, but I don't really think about it either.
That's fair. I know that there's oftentimes things, not I should say oftentimes, there have been things where I wouldn't think to use my core at that time. For instance, like going back to us talking about our music stuff, when I was doing vocals, you had to have a strong core to do good vocals. I never thought about that. I was always doing more like throaty screams. When I started using my core, I was able to enunciate and hold like notes longer and hit certain notes. And it just changes the game. Like there are things where you don't even realize your core is mandated for. But I'm glad you figured it out, because that's I mean, it's a soft one, but that's a fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I'm maybe a little bit like OP, where like I've just never thought about it. Like I wouldn't have told somebody that's like unbalanced, like, oh, just flex your core. Like that's not the first thing that's coming to my mind. So I'm curious what the wife's background is to where she knows that. Like, she a fucking personal trainer or some shit. But
that's very fair. That's a good point.
But hey, at least OP's figured it out, and now they're doing great because of it. So it's a win at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I love how he's like, now I can overpower her. It's like, you win in them wrestling matches, dog. We know what you mean, bro. It's okay. Hey, W's.
Yep.
All right, let's get these comments.
Yes, this makes me think I've been not using my core for even longer.
Makes you think about it.
Yep. I mean, now that I've read this, I'm gonna start thinking about it a lot more. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's one thing actually, for my dad bods out there, because I mean, y'all have seen me. I'm a big dude. If you want to tighten up your core a bit, like just from the dad flab to a dad tummy, keep your core tight when you're walking. It will naturally like strengthen itself to tighten around.
Yeah.
So you'll do it without even thinking about it, but it'll naturally tighten to keep everything like firm. And over time, you'll see a massive difference in just your midsection. So something to think about.
Yeah.
And I do love, this goes right along with that. This is so odd to me. The second comment here, I should say. This is so odd to me because I don't have to think about using my core for everyday activities. I just do it by instinct. But I would have assumed that this is true for everyone. The only time I think about actively bracing my core is during certain weightlifting exercises. That's very fair.
Yep.
Some people, it's just second nature.
Yep.
But hey,
not for everybody.
It's a W, you found out. Yep. And now you can live your life in a much more coordinated manner.
Sure, the sex is better too.
I mean, you got a point. I'm not going to disagree. You're exactly right.
Right.
All right, y'all. That's it. Time to get out of here. Y'all know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment on what your favorite story was, or if you have nothing else to say, drop your favorite emote, and we'll see you all on Saturday. Bye.
Bye.